the Daily News, which is an institution in New York State. It's a great newspaper nationwide. They had a large number of layoffs that basically decimated the institution. I think it's as many as about 100. I don't know what the final count is. But I was shocked that the layoffs happened. I was shocked that the layoffs happened without even any notice. Normally, if a corporation has to do something like this, they contact the state and they say, this is the situation we have. I assume it was a financial problem. I contacted the Tron Corporation, which is the corporation that owns the Daily News, and I said, look, if it's about finances, the state would like the opportunity to try to be helpful. These are important jobs. The Daily News is a very important institution, not just for New York, not just a big business in New York, but it's also vital to the press corps, and it's a national publication. We've had newspapers that have gotten into trouble before in New York. We had the New York Post, for those old New Yorkers will remember, had financial trouble when my father was governor. New York Post, let's just say, is actively partisan and was against the politics that my father represented. I think that was a fair statement. But nonetheless, he stepped up and he said the state will help the New York Post because it's vital to have a free press, and you want to have a free press with a dialogue. And it was an important business, and there were jobs and there were families involved. The Daily News is the same situation. And if there's a way for the state to be helpful financially, we will be, because we want to keep that institution strong. It's a New York institution, and we want to keep those jobs in New York. So I don't know why they did it. I think the way they did it, without even talking to the state and asking for assistance, was just plain wrong. As I said when I contacted them, if there's a way that the state can be helpful financially, because we want to see that institution do well, we want to see those jobs remain, and anything we can do, we will do. We can look, if it's about, a lot of times, Zach, a company will say we have a financial problem, and if we don't get some help or a loan or financial relief, we're going to do X. We're going to leave, we're going to close, we're going to lay off a number of workers. And the state has an economic interest. You know, those 100 jobs, those were 100 New Yorkers who were working, who were then paying taxes, who were then buying food in the local grocery store. So every time we lose a job, it costs the state, number one, not to mention the human cost, and not to mention the loss of the prestige and the capacity of the Daily News. So yes, if they had a financial issue, the state would want to assist in that financial issue as an economic interest and in the public interest.